Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to J Pal Music. I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of guitars that I recently put together. So if you've seen the videos prior, I do work on different Partcaster guitars, kind of taking the bits and pieces from each guitar and seeing if I can make a really cool combination. Kind of started a lot during the pandemic as far as me really working on Partcaster guitars, and this is definitely some guitars that I'm really impressed with, or proud of, I should say. So let me show you the first one. This is kind of, well, this is from a bullfighter guitar, and it's also a part of a Grote guitar. This guy. This is one of the more recent ones. So this body is actually from a bullfighter telly guitar. I think these are kind of hard to find. They might be back in stock as far as for the guitar body. Um, the neck is on a whole different guitar that I don't even have anymore that I sold. But in my opinion, it has an even better neck on it now. So I did a lot of things with this one. This one in general, I did put a new bridge on here with this with the brass saddles, the Wilkinson brass saddles here. And then the control cavity. This is actually one from Amazon where it has like the CTS orange pot or the orange drop capacitor. It's got the full CTS full pots on it, and then a really quality switch. So yeah, the control electronics are completely swapped out. This neck is actually from a Fender Mexican humbucker. I really love it. It's funny because a lot of people say it's too muddy or too dark, but if you get the right frequency, you can get a really nice tone out of it. I mean, even just to think of Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, he did most of his riffs with a telly, with the Mexican telly. So and obviously I'm a huge fan. Rage Against the Machine is my favorite band, so there's a connection there. As far as for the neck, this is actually from a Grote guitar. So there's the GTR standard S and the T. The nice thing about these necks is that they have stainless steel frets, rounded stainless steel frets, which is pretty crazy. Um, I liked this neck too because it has the alimony alimony frets. The I forget the name of the frets, but they match the color of the green guitar, so I'm like, this is kind of cool. And then it has a bone nut actually, which is pretty impressive. I did swap out the tuning trees for something different. These are some Tusk tuners or tuning trees. And I just find the intonation to be a lot better, especially with the B and the E of how it is angled. I feel that it gives better intonation. These tuners are actually the same. I plan on swapping them out. I just haven't decided which ones I'm going to swap them out with. They stay in tune fairly well. There's a little bit of slippage on the high E, but overall, it's a killer guitar. I mean, for being a partcaster, it's pretty serious. You could gig with this. I think this is giggable. It's in my giggable checklist. The back of it's a little crazy because usually it comes with the back plate, which I don't know where I put it. So now I have it drilled in, and then a little hole there. But people aren't really seeing that part of the guitar. They're seeing this, so definitely proud of this one. And then the other one I want to show you is actually the most literal recent one that I put together. It's almost like a Vola copy, a Vola potential looking copy or Ibanez copy, just because of the shapes of the neck and the body, actually. So this guy, I think this one's really nice. So the body is from the Grote, and then I did swap out the pickups for these. The neck has actually, it's a neck pickup from an guitar, VS60. Actually, a really nice pickup, really nice pickup. So that's in the neck, and then for the middle, it has a Guitar Fetish Professional Series. I think it's a 50s single coil, but really nice chime to it. And believe it or not, the bridge pickup is actually the stock one. I actually like how it sounds. It sounds pretty good. It's not microphonic. You can split the coils as well, and it's not too noisy when you split it. A lot of cheaper humbuckers, when you split them, they sound really noisy. But this one actually sounds pretty decent. But I did do some additional adjustments to this. I put stainless steel saddles on this instead of the ones that it came with. And then for the neck, this is from a Musinine guitar. It's actually from that guitar that I reviewed on my channel prior, the Musinine Telly, and it had this neck on it. That neck was this neck is kind of a nightmare just because the plastic nut on it, it was really screwing up intonation for the guitar in its entirety. I did have to change, adjust the frets and everything to clean them up. But the biggest issue with the intonation was the nut. So I had to take the nut out. And this is a kind of like a Graphtec nut, if you will, or it's a Graphtec type nut, definitely. It's from the same company that had those Tuss string trees, so it's definitely a quality nut here. It sticks out a little bit, but I mean, I can sold it down, but the intonation is incredible on this. It's really solid, really solid. String trees are the same. Oh no, actually, the string trees are not the same. These are Fender string trees. I walked into Guitar Center, and I asked them about some tuning trees, and they had the Fender ones. So I said, okay, I'll go with those. The tuners are different. These are Grover tuners. These Grover tuners were originally on a Douglas guitar that I found at a Guitar Center. And that Douglas guitar is kind of long gone now, but I always kept the Grover tuners because I've always had great great impression and experience with Grover tuners. So I threw them on this. It does have that kind of that choked lacquer, on the back, or not lacquer, but just the finish on it. It's not satin, so it can't have that chokeability. But it's a really nice guitar. It sounds really, really good. I'll have a separate video when I'm actually playing these. So mainly I'm just kind of showing the design of these off today. So it's kind of the meaning of the video. So if you're like, why don't you play them? It's like, I just wanted to show you guys kind of what the guitars look like. And I'll have a future video as far as for testing them for what they sound like. But yeah, I mean, in these... these are some guitars that I had, and I just kind of did some work putting them together. None of them are surely perfect, but these are playable. They play in tune. The intonation is good. The electronics are good. It feels good. That's really the biggest thing, too. As long as it sounds good and it feels good to you, nothing really matters. The brand on the headstock doesn't really matter. I mean, when it comes to that work, when it comes between those two things, people get it mixed up when it comes to that, in my opinion. And the whatever's on the headstock doesn't really fucking matter as long as it feels good and it plays well. And it consistently feels good and plays well. Consistently plays well, especially, right? But yeah, this is another guitar where it's giggable. If anything, I might do this and maybe sand off the back of the neck a bit, so it has a little more of a satin feel, so it's a little more, I can kind of move around with it a little more. But it feels pretty good, and the intonation's pretty nice. So I'll have a separate video as far as playing these, maybe some shorts on the channel, but just wanted to share these with you guys. Again, of course, you can like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.